The sound of pages turning means it's time for another episode from the Meredith Library podcast studio, bringing you the library's latest news, information, and fun.
Good afternoon, Anna.
Good afternoon, Matthew.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to episode number 28 of Check It Out here on the Meredith Library podcast studio.
Today, we are going to be talking about unique February events. Similarly to what we've done in the past, we have all of our classic book clubs, Naughty Knitters, all the good things, Shakespeare Group, but we're going to just be going over new programs or programs that are a one-time thing and just talk about them and hopefully get excited.
Yeah, some special events coming up for the month of February.
First off, on Thursday, February 6th, from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. in the function room, ask a financial advisor questions about money.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one because people may know Matt Rigotti, who is the financial advisor, who has come pretty much on a monthly basis doing all kinds of different financial topics. So we thought we'd change it up a little bit for February. We are allowing people to ask any question they want. So he's not coming with a predetermined presentation this time. He's just going to be available to answer any financial question people have, maybe about where they are in their current financial journey, or perhaps even more importantly, where they would like to be in their financial journey next.
And this is cool because this is the type of stuff that financial people will charge for.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a great opportunity. And you mentioned it was 6:30 to 7:30, and we are promoting that as kind of an open house drop-in format. So you don't need to be there the whole time. Just come in any time between those two times, and you can have your question answered.
Well, awesome. After that, on Friday, February 7th, from 5 to 8 p.m. in the function room, we have adult role-playing games, which is a program that has been going on for a couple months, but a campaign just ended, so we're starting again, and you have to register, and there's about 8 seats. There's about 5 open as I'm speaking now, but come in and have a fun, imaginative time. I was talking to a patron who did it, and she was saying that she's a very black and white thinker, and it was sort of helping her expand her creativity and just look at the world with a little bit more color.
All right, that's interesting. Let's mention that you said 5 to 8, so that is after hours on Friday. The regular functions of the library are closed, so this is a special event after hours where patrons get to be in the library while the building is closed.
Very fun.
Yes. And you mentioned a campaign was over. So you don't mean a political campaign. Maybe you can enlighten people who aren't sure what that means in the context of role-playing games.
Yeah, so I've only recently learned what any of that means as well. But a campaign means that you start a game and there's like a quest or a journey, and the role-playing master guy comes up with this whole idea. And once you've succeeded and finished the quest and gotten the ruby or whatever it is, that campaign, quote unquote, is over. And another one is designed, and so it's a lot easier for people to come in at the start of a campaign than in the middle of one. On Saturday, February 8th, 11 to 12:30 in the Makerspace, we have Makerspace Saturday.
Yes, it's our second one. We had a lot of people come to the first one in January, so we're excited about this whole new series of events we are putting on, where Chris will show people how to use a piece of equipment in the Makerspace, and everyone who attends can take home a souvenir of something that they worked on themselves if they want to. So this particular one for February will be the Cricut machine, and that cuts different types of materials, paper included. People will be making a fancy Valentine card. So you set the design you want on the software, and then the machine creates it for you.
It does seem like the Cricut is really good for cards specifically, right? I've seen that in that section. So Valentine's is a really good idea, and it's very of the moment.
Yes, and another fun thing that people can do with it is they make stickers, because you buy that like sticker paper, and then you can print out whatever, type of sticker design you want, and then the Cricut cuts the shapes of those stickers out.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It is important, and I think these sessions are really good because we have all of these really cool materials and machines and stuff, but people don't know how to use them then, and we're not always available to give detailed instructions. So coming into these info sessions These are free materials that are available to the whole community. On Tuesday, February 11th, from 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. in the Historic Study Room, which is upstairs, we are having laid back book group. So you don't have to do any homework to come in. It's more relaxed. You just sort of come in and have that book talk, media talk, and exchange and get good recommendations from other people.
Yeah, so people do not have to read a particular book ahead of time to participate in this. They just come in and they're talking about whatever book they have read recently on their own, or maybe a classic favorite, or even a TV show or movie that they want to talk about. So it's kind of like you said, an exchange of information about whatever media is inspiring them.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be positive.
That's true.
If you had watched something and it really ground your gears and you need to go let somebody else know, you can also do that. But it is laid back.
Maybe they need a hate-watching session.
Yeah. On Friday, February 14th and Friday, February 28th, from 9:15 to 12:45 in the Makerspace, we are having sit and sew groups. So kind of similarly to laid back book group, there's not a set project, but you can come in with your current work in progress crafts or sewing projects and just sort of soak in the productive energy of everybody around you also doing that, kind of help you finish that knitting thing or finish that garment you're working on or whatever craft it is.
And also, the library has 3 machines that people can borrow while they are here, and people are encouraged to help each other figure out how to use the machines or to share their expertise. And that's going to be, as you mentioned, in February, the 14th and the 28th, but people may notice those are the 2nd and 4th Fridays of the month. So that is the new time frame for this meeting. It's going to be every 2nd and 4th Friday.
That would really help me if I had a project that I wanted to get done, just to have it baked into my schedule and to have somewhere else to go than just my house, just to help me get stuff done and work on it and learn new things from other people.
Yeah, very motivational.
Yeah, for sure. On Wednesday, February 19th, from 11 to 12:30 in the function room, we have an author coming in named Claire Herbert Dow, who wrote the book Saving Mama.
Yes, she's a local author from Laconia, and she wrote this book as a memoir about her time as a businesswoman and the adventures she went through. But she also put another spin on it where she's talking about the animals that were part of her family, her pets. And if you see the front of the book, it's like a dog and a cat on the cover. It's about how she interacted with them and she drew strength and inspiration from them to get through various life challenges.
All right, sweet. And will she be physically there or she'll be Zooming in?
No, she'll be physically here in the library. And she's encouraging people who do want to check the book out ahead of time that they can get it from Innisfree Bookshop, and then she can sign it while she's here.
Oh, lovely. Next, on Thursday, February 20th, from 6:30 to 7:30 in the function room, we have a beginner's guide to cemetery sleuthing.
Doesn't that sound so much fun?
Yeah, it's a really good title. Registration is required for this, but it is over Zoom. So this is something you could register for from your home, log into Zoom, and listen to the lecture from the comfort of your own home. Or if you want to come in, you can, but the presenter will be on Zoom. It's about how to use cemeteries as sort of like a conduit to learn local history and just sort of how to approach them and how to use them in research. And it was really cool. In the write-up, they talked about different symbols on gravestones and kind of what they mean.
Yeah, it is interesting. And there's so many of those tiny cemeteries around here. Like on Parade Road, for example, I can think of at least 2, or 3. No, I can think of 3 off the top of my head. As just driving down the street, you come along and there could be 5 gravestones or a dozen gravestones. And if you stop and look at them, they're very old and worn. And you wonder, what the stories are for all the people there.
Well, I feel like a lot of those are usually like families, and you usually see quite a few children's gravestones, unfortunately, on those.
Yeah.
On Saturday, February 22nd, from 11 to 1 p.m. in the function room, Matthew and I are hosting an introduction to podcasting lecture. We're gauging interest, but for people in the community that might be interested in starting their own podcast, we wanted to see if there's interest, and we have an overview kind of lecture prepared, but if that goes well, we'll see. Maybe we'll do other workshops and seminars and things like that.
Yeah, like more in depth after the first one. So if people are listening to this and they're like, oh, I can do what those two do, then come on in. We want to meet you.
Prove it.
That's right. We want to help you get started with your own podcast.
Yes, and Matthew's very experienced on sort of the technical and audio production side. And I'm more on the content and making sure what you have to say is interesting and fun and informative.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think that'll be a lot of fun to work with people.
Registration is required, though. And
Yes.
we have discussed how if you are planning on co-hosting, both of you should probably come because you want to be working together.
Right, because the podcasting is much more fun with a friend, we always say. Isn't that true, Anna?
Oh, nothing could be more correct. Finally, on February 25th from 6:30 to 7:30 in the historic study room, we are having the first one as we are recording today, but we are starting a nonfiction group in 2025, a book group, monthly book group at the Meredith Public Library. So the second nonfiction book will be at the end of February.
And I think it has a great title.
Yes.
Are you ready?
A Libertarian Walks into a Bear.
Yeah, so the last word is B-E-A-R.
Yes. And this is an interesting book to read because it is about a historical event that happened in Grafton, New Hampshire. So it's locally relevant, but I'm pretty sure the book is like nationally popular.
With that title, it has to be.
Yeah, it does. And there are bears in the book. It is a historical event that happened in New Hampshire that the bears were a very big part of. So come on in.
Before the recording, you were telling me about it, and now I want to go read it because it sounds so interesting.
Yeah, so that's all the unique February events we have for this month.
Then we will look forward to seeing everybody at the library throughout the month.
Yeah, come in. It's cold outside. It's warm in here. So come hang out. Be indoorsy.
All right, that sounds good, Anna. Well, thank you for the informative session, as always.
We will see all of y'all next time. Good talking to you, Matthew.
You too. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Podcast music titled Daytime TV Theme by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0.
Podcast copyright 2025. Meredith Library Podcast Studio.